Right, hello, and welcome to another lawn mowing live stream. It is July the 10th, 2025. It's a Thursday, and this next one here is one that I have done previously many times. So we're going to get right into it. One that I do with the navigator normally. So let's flip the camera around and see what we're working with. And I'll leave the tripod for now. It was overcast this morning. We had a bunch of rain yesterday, so I was only able to go out, actually, well, because it's summer, and I normally work through the rain, spring and fall, and the rest of the week was going to be nice, including today. I opted to not go to work in the morning yesterday, and I had gotten a bunch of lawns done the previous day, so I got a head start. I think I did about 5 of the Wednesday lawns on Tuesday at the end of my Tuesday route, so I worked a little bit longer so that I wouldn't have to go out in the rain. And let's see, I got 2 bars left on here. It should be alright. So then, yeah, I didn't know how bad the rain would be yesterday. It was pretty rough in the morning, but you can see some of these lawns are drying up, so the rain is welcome. So I ended up going out, I think it was after lunch, and it kind of finally at least slowed down to a drizzle. And I did some of those, so I didn't do any live streaming yesterday because of the rain drizzling, and the phone usually doesn't like getting wet. The phone itself is waterproof, but the screen, touch screens don't like getting wet. They start to act all weird, start to glitch out. I find that even with my Apple Watch, if it's raining a lot, I'll have to put it in like swim mode so that it locks out the screen. Otherwise, it'll start like texting random people on my contact list and doing all sorts of stuff. That's getting triggered by the raindrops on the screen and then just the conductivity of my skin on the back of the watch. Really quite strange. So I decided not to live stream yesterday, so I didn't have to deal with it. But I was able to catch up on my route completely, so that today is just starting fresh on a normal Thursday route. Let me know if you guys can hear the audio good and where you're watching from. As always, because the trimming is a lot of movement going around the perimeter and stuff, I will put the camera on the tripod when I start doing like the main body of mowing. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Yeah, things are really starting to dry out. patches there. Soil compaction. Make sure my truck is locked. Ugh. I was trying out a different sports hydration drink today. Normally I've been started drinking Gatorades, the electrolytes, and noticed a big difference in how I feel at the end of the day. Just even brain function at the end of the day, not being so dehydrated. Previous it was just always water. So now I'm mixing water and sports hydration drinks. But then my son yesterday plays soccer, and he was like in a semi-pro league. It was their last home game yesterday, and they were clearing out the locker rooms and stuff. They won't be back to their home field, and one of their sponsors is that sports drink Mass, the Lionel Messi sports drink. So they already had tons and tons of that they were just giving away, cases of it to the players at the end because they won't be needing it anymore for this season. So my son came home with like 14 cases of that Mass sports drink. So I'll be drinking that for a while now. Tried out my first bottle of it today. The ingredients in it are apparently a lot better than your other types of sports drinks. But it's the taste is a little bit, it's alright, it's not the greatest. Very salty tasting, I find, but that's those electrolytes, I guess, the sodium level in there. They put in there for you. You guys drink any sort of electrolyte replacements when you're working? Let me know in the chat. I used to always buy those little, I forgot what they're called. They're like little squeeze bottles of like flavoring that you could just squeeze into your water bottle. Somebody's got a mole problem. Looks like that's me. I wasn't there last week. Yeah, there's a bunch of bump spot there too. Yeah, I used to squeeze some of those flavored electrolyte replacements into my bottled water, but not consistently enough. Maybe like 1 year I would have them. All right, take my glasses off. for now. Bit of grass buildup yesterday from the wet grass. Went to do a lawn that was pretty juicy. At the end of the day, the old heritage house that I mow, and it had grown, probably about 6 inches or so. I think the owner of that house is overwatering it because it should have slowed down by now, the growth. But it continues to just explode. Find my key. All right. I'm gonna have to adjust the height on this deck because I had it at 3 inches yesterday for that other lawn. So I'm gonna have to put it to 2.5 for this one. The majority of my lawns are all 2.5, but I've been cutting so much off of that one house that I was like, I'm gonna have to. 3 inches was about as low as I wanted to go with it, which is an improvement. The last few weeks it's been 4 or 5 inches, the maximum that I could cut it down to, because it was just double that coming off of it. Alright, so I got the old manual pin system on this, which is annoying, but it is what it is. It can be difficult sometimes to get these pins off and back on, and lots of little knuckle injuries. It's also a little bit more difficult with the camera hanging right in front of my line of vision when I bend over like that. Ugh. These back ones are those are the worst ones to get on there. All right. Doesn't take long, but to adjust, it's just annoying and can sustain some knuckle injuries sometimes. Trying to pull those pins can sometimes feel like they're stuck, and then all of a sudden they'll come out and you've smashed your knuckles on something else around the deck. You see my messy collection of Gatorade bottles there, and then this is the last one I've been trying out. I'd say it's okay. It's not the greatest tasting, but got 14 cases for free, so we'll go through it. Whoa. See, Michael Wojcik. Hello, Michael. Welcome back to the live stream. What are you doing? I am mowing. I'm going to be mowing this regular client here. This is one that I use the navigator on, so it's going to be kind of noisy. Noisier than usual. I'm using battery stuff, of course. Do the perimeter, and then I will set up the tripod So here comes the noise. Did a quick check of the gas tank. I forgot to check. Got plenty of fuel. I've been using the Navigator more often. A few more houses that I've been able to get it onto this year. So and I'll just go around to set up a tripod by the trailer. Handy little tripod. See, it's pretty very lightweight, easy to fit in my pocket. The only downside is you got to watch if it's windy, because the legs aren't that stable. Let's see how much we can get here. Try to get as much as I can, and I'll put it down a little bit lower just to minimize the wind chances. All right. Keep in mind, those on the tripod will have questions. Be patient, and I will answer them once I grab the phone again. You see, this lawn is very lumpy, and it's got very uneven, but it's a good lawn to demonstrate the fully articulating deck on this X-Mark Navigator, or the walkers would be the same. It's a full floating deck. It can move independently from the frame, side to side, front to back. So it doesn't scalp as easily. You'll see it doesn't have any scalp rollers on it because it doesn't need them. But you'll see how the whole deck here along these lumps kind of flexes and moves up and down with the contour of the lawn. You can see that by watching the deck itself, or just look at my legs, because my feet are resting on the deck. So you can see my knees extending and retracting as the deck rides over the bumps. Like right here, you're going to see and even side to side. The deck just follows the contour, so it doesn't scalp, but it doesn't like leave any uncut areas. It just follows those contours. So you get a nice even cut, even on a lawn that isn't flat. Whereas if this was a regular zero turn with the deck hanging underneath, then those high spots on the lawn would most likely scalp, and then those low spots as the mower rode over them would be left with taller grass. Where with this, because this deck floats side to side, up and down, it just follows into those dips and valleys. See, just from my body movement, how rough the lawn is. I might be out of view right now. Just let me turn the camera. I'll come around. I'll take a pause from stripes here and come around so I can turn the camera a bit. Whole different dimension when you're live streaming. Add when you're live streaming, as I was saying, just a whole different dimension. Lots of other things to think about other than just mowing. It'd be easy to forget if the camera's not in frame, especially because I'm not looking at a reference monitor or something. Which I might do next because my phone needs a replacement. I've got an iPhone Pro Max iPhone 12 Pro Max still. So I'm probably going to replace it with the iPhone 17 when that comes out. So what I've been thinking of is having the new phone as my main phone and then using my old phone for the streaming, getting a data plan, extending my data plan to my other old phone, and then I can have my new phone as a monitor so I can be looking at comments still and seeing the shot. So essentially I'd be watching the live stream with one camera, one phone, and filming the live stream with the other. All right. Get you guys back on the POV. Chest mount. Tripod back in my pocket. And we'll take a nice little perimeter drive around the lawn so we're not crossing over our lines. Then we'll do our same little perimeter cut back here. Actually, I'm going to make sure my truck will I locked my truck again when I grabbed that tripod. Just give me a moment to see the remote. There we go. If you're watching the chat, let me know where you're watching from. Or if you're watching the stream, I guess I should say. Let me know in the chat. This little handy tripod's been pretty nice. Works well. Fits in my pocket. Super lightweight. It's like aluminum but with plastic legs on. Right, you can pop it open. The only thing, it's not as super stable because the legs are small. It's got a removable Bluetooth remote here. You could start and stop your recording, and then of course you just pull it to extend. Comes with both a phone mount or like a GoPro style mount. So we'll just set her down there. The phone on it. That should give us a pretty good view of what's going on for the majority of the line. And let you guys watch a different angle. A little bit breezy, so hopefully the phone doesn't fall over. If it does, just bear with me, and I will pick it up when I come around. This back lawn is super rough. This one and the next lawn that I have to do, my commercial property, are two of the roughest in terms of not smooth, level lawns. That at times you just gotta go. You have to mow pretty slow. Otherwise, it's like you're riding a bronco at the rodeo. I find sometimes it's kind of better to lean forward. Puts less pressure on my spine than if I lean back and have my spine absorb all the impacts. In case you're wondering why I'm leaning forward. I got a little area here I gotta mow. Just a little nook. Alright, let's turn the camera. This side portion. Hopefully that's getting on. forward and backwards to reverse that tail wheel. Telling you, I need to find a partner a company to partner with for large battery mowers, so I can do these live streams with a lot more quiet, like when I do with the other push mowers. So much nicer when I watch them back when I'm using the regular mowers. You can have kind of a talk. Over these gas ones are just so noisy. Even with the noise cancellation and stuff, it struggles to differentiate between your voice and noise, so you get kind of all jarbled. In case you're wondering, these are optional grass handling bins that are sold as an accessory. The Navigator itself just comes like this, empty. Because normally you would be dumping the whole hopper itself into the back of a trailer or onto the ground to a compost pile. But they sell these bins that are contoured for this machine, so that you can dump grass into garbage cans. And so that's why I reverse the machine at the end to get that rear tail wheel to flip underneath, so I can get this bin at the end as close as possible, so I can dump the remainder of the grass that slips past. Try and get as much of it into the bin. Doesn't get all of it, but you can get the majority of it. Sorry for the butt shot. It's starting to warm up. The sun comes out. There we go. See, it picks up most of it. I'll go over that now and just set that up. Or sometimes just blow it off. Let's put this back on POV. So, and then, actually before I do that, you guys can see, I showed you the tripod. Here's the neck mount that I use. So it just goes over my neck. Has a little phone mount here that you can pop the phone in and out of easily. An angle. That neck mount as well comes with both phone and GoPro type connectors. And that's what I use for live streams between the two. They're both lightweight, easy to carry. Like I said, the neck mount one just goes on the neck. And then that tripod, like I said, it folds up. Pop it in my little zipper pocket. Ironically, I'm wearing Milwaukee flex pants, so they got a bunch of pockets here. This one has a zipper, which is nice. So for this particular tripod, I can just put it in there, zip it up to the tripod, and it holds it in place even when I'm walking around. It's super lightweight, so it doesn't weigh my pants down. So between the two, allows me to kind of change camera angles for the live streams. Of course, the other part of the puzzle is the IsoTunes Link hearing protection. They have the active noise cancellations. That's why you'll hear the mower kind of quiet in volume a little bit. It'll try to differentiate. Oh, excuse me. Had a sneeze attack there with no warning. I didn't even have time to let you guys know that was going to happen. Sorry about that. Just got some dust. And then the isotones, the Link 2.0 is nice because they have that optional boom mic that you can buy that puts the microphone right in front of your mouth. Oh, another sneeze coming. So I'm just quickly grabbing the mic with my hand, covering it, and moving it to the side when I sneeze. But the funny thing is, the foam is right in front of me, so that I'm sneezing all over my phone. Lovely. So it looks pretty quiet on the comments today. Nobody is chatty. Nobody has questions. Let's grab those straps. Alright. See how tight my trailer is. I have to kind of walk over things. Nate Sheehan says, let's go after a long day of lawn care. Need me some mowing. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. I already undid those. So time to lift the deck up. And then I'm just going to strap this in place. and get a nice tight, compact fit, which is the only way I can get a machine like this in my trailer, is because of the folding deck. If this was a normal zero turn, I probably would not be able to fit it in here, just because my overall length is only like, I don't know, is this like 10 feet or something in here? Maybe not even. I think it might be 10 feet overall. Yeah, it's probably 10 feet overall from the front of the trailer to the rear. And I know the center is 3 feet, that box. So that means that the back here is only 7 feet. So to be able to fit any sort of zero turn in here, the fact that these have the folding deck is what lets me get this in this little compact trailer, which is perfect for these types of neighborhoods. And actually this neighborhood is on the good side in terms of parking. There's always lots of parking, there's no issue, but some of the ones I do are horrible. Like one I did earlier today, there was no parking. I had to drive back and forth 3 times. So basically, went to it my first normal part of the day that I would normally do it. There was no parking, so I left. Went to my next lawn, did that one, then came back to check it. Still no parking, so left, went to the next one. Luckily, they're all within a few blocks of each other, but still wastes a lot of time. Finally, on the third, I kind of like, there was a little bit of space, but I had to partially illegally park. And the parking companies, they have like, the city has like contracted with private parking companies, so they're like sharks out there, so I guess they get paid by the ticket that they issue. So that was one I was going to live stream today, but because I was parked illegally, I was like, oh, I don't have the time to do the streaming. I need to be in and out. Nate Wojcik, aha. Sorry, Mick Wojcik says, aha. Nate Sheehan says, interesting setup. Any reason for the split trailer? That trailer was not my design. It was originally when I started doing lawn care, I bought a franchise, and that was their trademarked trailers. In fact, they kind of based their whole reputation on those trailers, on like, look, spot our trailers sort of thing. But over the years, and they used to say that they would never let those trailers leave their franchise, except they made a mistake in the sense that every time they would sell a franchise, they would make you purchase the trailer from the manufacturer, so you owned the trailer. So as people started to leave the franchise over years, they would just take the trailer with them, and there's nothing the franchise company could do. But what they should have done was bought the trailers themselves and leased them to the franchisees, so that if anybody decides to leave, they get to keep their trailer and not lose their kind of trademarked kind of thing. So anyways, I left after about 5 years, decided I could do it better on my own, which now I've been on my own for 15 years. Started my own brand that you see on the trailer, and absolutely did 1,000 times better than I was doing with the franchise company. But I took that trailer and I had it sandblasted, and then redid the paint at a place that does like dump trucks and stuff, like an industrial truck builder. So the reason for it is a lot of the mowing that the franchise in this is, they base in the city, so it's mostly push mowing. So it has a basically locked up area for your push mower, put your blowers, your trimmers. It's got a couple hooks there. It's got a shelf on the other side with an access door on the other side that you can put tools and knickknacks and things. Super handy. And then this back half here is open, and originally this was for debris. So it's got the steps here that you can climb up on here, grab the rail up there, and throw tarps of debris and stuff into the back. When I had this one made, I opted for this to be hydraulic. So that's what this plug thing here is for. People think it has power. This is just a way for me to, that the manufacturer built to connect the remote that lifts the hydraulics on the trailer. So it just plugs into there, the remote, and then you press the button. I don't know if I can show you underneath, if you guys will be able to see the hydraulics there, the ram and the lift. And then there's the pin where it pivots. When I first got this trailer, the back doors were solid. So like this, just solid metal, and they only went up to here, up to the same height as the sides. But I wanted the trailer to be more versatile. So I had it like that for maybe 2 or 3 months, and then I cut the doors off right away, and you can see the old welds there from the old original doors. They were just barn doors, and I came up with this design myself. I built these myself from scratch, and basically it's 2 doors, and I've got a series of hinge pins. I've got these ones here, one on the door, one on the trailer, there, one on the door, one on the trailer, but then on the bottom I've got 4 as well, one on each, or 2 on each door, and then 2 there, 2 there, and then there and there. And you'll see that some of these don't have pins in them. So when I have this in this configuration, I've got 2 pins on the top, and I've got all 4 pins at the bottom, so acting as hinges. So as you saw, I can take those 2 top pins in, and both doors fold open like a ramp, which is why it's a bit longer at the back, so that you can clear the crest of the trailer there. But what I can do is I can remove those pins and those pins and put them there, and then just leave the 2 pins on the bottom to keep the doors closed. And then when I want to open the doors, I can basically convert these to barn doors. If I'm, want to put a wheelbarrow up to it and shovel gravel or dirt or whatever, then it basically convertible doors that work fantastically. So it's a very versatile trailer. So it lets me carry the larger mowers in the back, but I can also use it for debris. I can dump with it. I can do all sorts of stuff. Works well. Let's see if there's any other. Michael Pojik says yes. Really good grass. Is that molehills? Yeah, those were molehills. Nice day. Yes, it's a very nice day. So let me flip this around to the front camera now. So yeah, and then here's the headphones that I use for the live streaming. So it's those Isotunes Link 2.0, and I got this optional microphone that plugs into the bottom. If you want to have better audio quality, it puts that microphone in front of your mouth. It connects to your phone via Bluetooth. So that is kind of like the whole streaming setup that I use when I'm doing live streams. So I think that's going to be about it, if there's no other questions. So let's go through the list here. So thank you to Michael Wojcik for stopping in and engaging in the chat section. Also to Nate Sheen for as well putting some comments into the chat section. I think those were the only two today. So keep going in front of the camera there when I'm trying to scroll through the comments. Yeah, so that's the two for today. So thanks so much for those two for engaging in the chat. Also, thanks for everybody else for just dropping in and checking out the live stream. If you guys want to check out more of these, if you like them, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, and most importantly, that notification bell, because that's the only way you're going to know when I go live. Is YouTube will alert you if you've got that notification bell turned on. As I've talked to you before, live streams are always going to be something that is impromptu. I can't schedule them in advance because I don't know what the conditions are going to be like that day for each house, weather, and all that sort of things that play into the cellular signal, access, and all sorts of. There's lots of different different things that can affect whether I can live stream or not. So I can't schedule them in advance. All I can do is just go live when I've got the opportunity to. So hitting that notification bell and subscribing is the best way to know when I'm doing that. So that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for checking out and hanging out with me for this little bit today. I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.